In today's math lesson, we're going to talk about using money to buy some things, but at the same time we're going to talk about how you can make change. You can see here on the screen that I have a pile of money. Sometimes we refer to this as change because you have a bunch of coins that's kind of extra left over from buying something. So the importance of making changes, I'm going to show you right now why it's important to make sure that you can make change or you have change. So let's say, for example, that I buy an eraser. You can see here it costs 7 cents. Now if I just go to the store and I'm buying this eraser and I take this big group of pennies and say, you know what, here you go, here's all my money, I'll take my eraser. The one thing is the eraser only costs 7 cents, and if I gave them all of this, I should actually get some money back, or I should actually not have to pay them all of these pennies. So for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you can see here this group that I just drew a box around is a total of 7 cents. This is all I should have to really give to pay for this eraser. So it's important because if I gave them all of this money and said, here you go, I'll take my eraser, you actually gave them 4 pennies too much. So we're going to talk about how you can make sure that when you pay for something, you're getting all of your money back that you deserve. So to start, we're going to start here. You can see I have a cash register. I've got some items to choose from to buy. I've got a box where I can put what I bought. You can show what you paid, and you can show what your change should be. Now we're only going to use dimes and pennies for this lesson today. We're going to start with that same eraser. So that eraser costs 7 cents. Now what I'm going to pay for it is I'm going to use dimes, and I'll only make my change with pennies. So I could pay with pennies. You just saw a little bit ago that I could pay with pennies, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to pay with a dime, and then we'll make change with pennies. So if I pay with a dime, and I remember that a dime is worth 10, I'm going to show you that a 10 on this number grid, I just flipped it over, but my eraser only costs 7, so I'll flip over 7. So you can see here it only costs 7, but I paid 10. So in order to make it fair, I need to get some money back, and to figure this out, what I'm going to do is whatever the item cost, I'll start at that number, and then whatever I paid, I'm going to hop up or count how many hops it is to that number. So in this problem, since it costs 7 and I paid 10, that means I start at 7 and count how many hops it would be to 10. So to show you, I'm going to change colors here. So we start at 7, and then remember I can't count 1 because I'm still on 7. I'm counting my hops. So I would go 1, 2, 3. So my change should be 1, 2, and 3. So for example, again, if I paid for an eraser with a dime, it was 7 cents. I paid with a dime, which is 10, so my change should be 3 cents. 1, 2, 3. Now that I finished the first problem, we'll go to a little bit harder problem. The first problem only required us to pay 1 dime. Now let's say that I wanted to buy a pencil. It costs 12 cents. Well, I'm going to point on the hunter's chart and I'm going to turn over 12. So you can see 12 is what I had to pay in order to buy this. So if I added a dime, right here's what a dime's worth, you can see I don't have enough money to buy that yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another dime. So now I have more than enough money to pay for that pencil. Remember, we're paying with dimes, making change with pennies. So now since these dimes are worth 10 apiece, you can see I already highlighted it on the hunter's chart that 10 plus 10 equals 20. Now if you remember from the last problem, I said first start at whatever the item you bought was, which would be 12. So that means I have to start at 12, and then whatever you paid, that's where you're going to count up to. Count how many hops it is to get there. So let me change again colors. So again, I'm starting at 12, and I'm going to count how many hops it is to get to 20. So let's go ahead and count. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that means in order to get my change back, that person that I paid should give me a total of 8 pennies back to give me my change. So there's 4, and then we'll go ahead and add some more quickly. So you can see here now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's my change. Let's do one more problem to finish today up. Let's say that I decided I want to buy this airplane. So you can see the airplane cost 24 cents. Now if I paid 1 dime, that's only 10 cents. Now the airplane costs 24, which is all the way down here. So now I could try and add another dime, but you can see I'm right here. I still don't have enough. So now I need to add another dime. Now to figure this out, a dime again is worth 10. So I have 10 here, this one's worth 10, this one's worth 10, which all together would equal a total of 30 if I counted by tens. It'd be 10, 20, and 30. Now that I've figured out how much money I paid, which was 30 cents, just like we've been talking about, you need to start at what you paid for the item. So start at what it cost. So the airplane cost 24 cents. So that means I need to start at 24. Since I paid 30, I'm going to count how many hops it is up to 30. So again, let me change colors so you can see it. So again, I'm starting at 24 because that's what it cost me. I paid 30, so I'm going to start at 24 and count up to 30. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that person would be required to give me 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just go ahead and make these again. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So again, my change should have been 6 cents. So remember today, we're just paying with dimes, and then you're going to make your change with pennies to show that you can make change. Start at what the item cost, count how many hops it is to what you paid.